Welcome to an electrifying episode of our podcast, where we unravel a chilling tale from 1978. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, two siblings, Finney and Gwen, confront the sinister grabber and their own unyielding courage in the face of unspeakable horror. This riveting story promises suspense, survival, and the enduring strength of family bonds. Join us as we delve into the harrowing narrative of the Black Phone. Let's begin. In the chilling year of 1978, an eerie presence loomed over the quiet streets of a suburban neighborhood in Denver. This presence, a sinister serial child abductor known only as the Grabber, sowed fear and dread among the local residents. Among those residents were the beleaguered Blake siblings, Finney and Gwen, who lived under the oppressive rule of their abusive alcoholic father. At school, Finney's life was a never-ending cycle of torment, as he bore the brunt of relentless bullying and harassment. Yet, amidst this sea of hostility, he found solace in the unlikeliest of friendships with a classmate named Robin. Robin stood by his side, fending off the bullies and offering a glimmer of respite in his otherwise tumultuous life. However, the web of darkness spun by the Grabber was tightening. Tragedy struck when a boy named Bruce, whom Finney had known from a different school, was snatched away by the nefarious Grabber. The unsettling atmosphere in the neighborhood escalated, and Gwen, a unique young girl with psychic dreams that mirrored her late mother's, found herself plagued by visions. In her restless slumbers, Gwen dreamt of Bruce's abduction and witnessed the horrifying details, an ominous black van adorned with black balloons. Gwen's revelations caught the attention of detectives Wright and Miller, who, though intrigued, struggled to place their trust in the young girl's uncanny abilities. The situation grew more dire as the Grabber continued his spree, this time seizing Robin and later, Finney himself. Awakening in a soundproofed basement, Finney was confronted with a grim reality. The room held a peculiar and seemingly defunct black rotary phone on the wall. The Grabber, his tormentor, insisted that the phone was inoperative. However, one fateful day, the phone rang and Finney, filled with a mixture of dread and curiosity, answered it. The voice on the other end was that of Bruce's ghost, lost and confused, unable to recall his own name or the details of his former life. Bruce, in his spectral form, shared a glimmer of hope with Finney, disclosing the existence of a floor tile that could be removed to craft an escape tunnel. As the days passed, the police's efforts to locate Finney remained fruitless, while the Grabber carelessly delivered meals to his captive and left the basement door ajar. Finney, fueled by desperation, prepared for a daring escape. However, his hopes were quickly dashed by another boy, Billy, who communicated with him over the phone. Billy revealed a sinister game orchestrated by the Grabber and warned Finney that he lurked upstairs, ready to unleash a brutal beating with a belt should Finney attempt to flee. Yet Billy offered a lifeline, an escape route through the basement window, facilitated by a cord he had found. Struggling to free himself from his subterranean prison, Finney climbed up to the bars in the window, inadvertently breaking the bars in the process. His window of return now sealed, the young boy was trapped in a perilous situation. Meanwhile, Gwen's clairvoyant dreams took a darker turn as she dreamt of Billy's abduction. Troubled by these visions, she confided in her father about the unfolding nightmare. Detectives Wright and Miller took a step closer to solving the mystery when they interviewed an eccentric man named Max, who was temporarily staying in the neighborhood with his brother. Shockingly, it was revealed that Finney was being held captive in Max's basement, unbeknownst to Max, and that the Grabber was, in fact, Max's own flesh and blood. After an intense confrontation with the Grabber, where Finney's honesty was put to the test, it appeared that the abductor might consider releasing him. While still confined, Finney communicated with another of the Grabber's victims, Griffin, via the phone. Griffin offered critical information, the combination to a lock on the upstairs front door, and the news that the Grabber had drifted into slumber. Seizing the opportunity, Finney crept upstairs, unlocked the door, and prepared to escape. However, the Grabber's vigilant guard dog foiled his plan, and he was recaptured. Devastated by the failed attempt, Finney found himself answering the ominous phone once more. This time he spoke with Vance, a tough individual who had once been a source of fear for him. Vance, with a sense of camaraderie, shared the existence of a connecting storage room that Finney could access by creating a hole in the wall. He instructed Finney to exit through the freezer on the other side. With immense determination, Finney fashioned a hole using a toilet tank cover and ventured into the back of the freezer. But the door leading out was locked. In his darkest moment, the phone rang once again, and it was Robin at the other end. Robin, ever supportive, urged Finney to stand up and fight for his freedom. He instructed Finney to fill the phone receiver with the dirt he had dug up, turning it into an improvised weapon. While Gwen's psychic dreams persisted, now foretelling Vance's abduction, she made a groundbreaking discovery. Following her visions, she pinpointed the grabber's property. In an act of immense courage, she contacted detectives Wright and Miller, bringing them closer to solving the sinister puzzle. Simultaneously, Max, the unwitting brother of the grabber, realized that Finney was held captive in his basement. In a heart-wrenching twist of fate, Max lost his life to the grabber's merciless axe. The police swiftly arrived at the house that Gwen had uncovered, only to find it eerily empty. But their search led them to the basement, where they made a horrifying discovery: a burial ground for the grabber's victims. A deadly confrontation ensued as the grabber attacked Finney with his axe. In a desperate struggle, Finney used the phone cord to trip the grabber, sending him tumbling into the tunnel Finney had dug and trapping his ankle in the window bars at the bottom. As the grabber writhed in agony, the voices of his victims taunted him over the phone. Fueled by determination and sheer survival instinct, Finney pulled the cord tight, breaking the grabber's neck and ending his reign of terror. With a final act of cunning, Finney distracted the ferocious guard dog with meat from the freezer and escaped the house, using the combination he had acquired. Emerging across the street from the makeshift gravesite, he was joyously reunited with Gwen, just as the police descended upon the property. In the midst of their emotional reunion, the Blake siblings found solace in each other's presence. Their father arrived, and amidst tears, he finally offered a long-overdue apology for his mistreatment of them. The nightmare had passed, and life began to return to a semblance of normalcy. Back at school, Finney, now a changed and confident young man, took his place next to his crush in class, a survivor forever marked by the harrowing ordeal he had endured. And there you have it, a heart-pounding journey through the haunting narrative of the Black Phone. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more gripping stories that will keep you coming back for more.